You know, you're paying for something right now and you've completely forgotten it even exists. Crazy, right? Welcome to this explainer where we're going to expose the silent money leaks that are just draining your accounts as we speak. We're looking directly at what the data calls unnoticed daily habits. Basically, these tiny leaks that can literally sink large financial ships. Over the next few minutes, we're going to uncover exactly how this happens, how much it's actually costing you, and the simple strategy you can use today to plug the drain for good.
So let's just dive right into it with a very serious question. What are you paying for right now that you completely forgot exists? Because whether you're an everyday consumer or a high-level business operator, our sources reveal that you likely have a massive money blind spot. It's an invisible enemy, and it's actively stealing your wealth. And honestly, the absolute worst part, you authorized it. You signed up, you handed over your card, and then, well, life just got busy.
Think about the sharp contrast between the services you actually use every single day, like, the streaming platform you watch every night, or the software you absolutely rely on for your job, against the forgotten subscriptions that just quietly collect fees on autopay. Look, we all have them. That premium app you downloaded for a free trial like 3 years ago and just never canceled, the gym membership you swear you're going to start using next month, the specialized news site you read once for a single article. These silent fees are the ones absolutely destroying your cash flow, because they require zero awareness to keep charging you month after month.
All right, moving into Section 1, your financial autopilot. To fix this, we really need to understand the psychology behind why we buy and forget. We're shifting away from intentional spending and slipping right into what the sources term financial autopilot. This is where fundamental human behavior meets modern automated banking, and let me tell you, it is a very dangerous intersection if you aren't paying attention.
Here's a hard truth you really need to let sink in. You didn't decide to be broke. Your habits did. Now, this isn't about lacking a high income. In fact, the data repeatedly shows that high earners can easily stay broke precisely because of lifestyle inflation. It's really about how unnoticed daily habits silently trap you over time. You think you're making these individual, rational financial decisions every day, but in reality, your underlying habit loop is just making them for you. So, financial autopilot is fundamentally a habit loop. Think about it. Our emotions drive that initial purchase. Maybe you were super stressed out at work and wanted a quick dopamine hit. Or you were highly motivated about a brand new hobby on a Sunday afternoon. But autopay ensures we never feel the pain of the ongoing cost. It completely removes the friction from spending. You buy for that immediate comfort, the happiness fades almost instantly. But the drain on your bank account, that stays perpetually open. You don't even get a bill in the mail anymore. The cash just vanishes right out of your ledger.
Get a load of this number, $500. According to our research, this represents the average amount of money you could secretly cut from your monthly bills right now, just by hunting down these hidden leaks. And you might be thinking, there is absolutely no way I have $500 in hidden subscriptions. But think about how easily that spreads out. It's a $15 music service here, a $40 specialized software tool there, a $120 quarterly subscription box you stopped opening 6 months ago. It adds up shockingly fast. That's $500 of your own hard-earned money walking out the back door every single month just because of unmeasured budgets and forgotten autopays.
Which brings us to Section 2, the corporate cash drain. Let's move over to the business world and see how this builds, because this proves it isn't just a personal finance issue or some lack of individual discipline. Entire companies and highly paid executives bleed incredible amounts of cash through these exact same blind spots.
$200. In the corporate space, this is the average monthly cost per unused Tier 3 SaaS product that operators often waste money on. And why do operators let this happen? Well, it usually comes down to optimism bias and just a sheer lack of oversight. Companies buy these tools, genuinely thinking it's going to revolutionize their team's workflow or automate some tedious process. They approve the expense, the onboarding email gets lost in an inbox somewhere, and then absolutely nothing happens. The tool sits totally dormant while the billing cycle just churns on and on and on.
Honestly, just like an individual buyer, businesses fall into this exact same habit loop. They buy flashy Tier 3 software or the latest AI tools based on incredibly impressive sales demos. Then, they leave them completely unimplemented because they simply lack the operational rhythm or the bandwidth to train the team. So they end up paying monthly subscriptions for absolutely zero value. Finally, some finance manager notices and they cancel in month 4 or 5, but only after a massive, completely unnecessary cash drain has already occurred. It's exactly like the classic gym membership phenomenon, but operating on a massive corporate scale. Now for Section 3, tiny leaks sink ships.
The crucial point here is understanding the true macro loss of these seemingly small micro losses over a longer horizon. A $20 subscription here, a $50 software fee there, it feels entirely manageable in the moment, right? It's just a drop in the bucket of your monthly paycheck or operating budget. But the long-term math tells a pretty terrifying story.
Our sources highlight a really critical concept here. Unnoticed daily habits act like leaks that can sink large financial ships. A $20 forgotten subscription might seem completely harmless. I mean, it's just the cost of a couple of coffees or a quick lunch, right? Wrong. It is an invisible enemy. It's actively stealing your wealth because you aren't just losing the $20 today, you're losing what that $20 could have become tomorrow.
And the compounding pain here is really something else. When you map out the raw cost of a $20 subscription over a few decades, it definitely hurts, but it looks somewhat linear. Now contrast that with the massive outcome if you had taken that exact same $20 a month and invested it into an index fund instead. You aren't just losing a few $100 a year. You are losing the thousands and thousands of dollars in compound interest that your money could have generated for your future. Time is literally your ultimate leverage in wealth building. And right now, leaving these leaks open means you're using time to compound your losses instead of your gains.
This brings us to a fundamental rule of wealth. Every purchase is a trade of your future financial freedom. Opportunity cost is heavily ignored by most people because, well, it requires abstract, long-term thinking. But you have to calculate the true cost of doing nothing about your subscriptions. Doing nothing is an active choice. It's a decision you're making that actively costs you money every single month. When you leave a subscription active that you aren't using, you are literally trading a piece of your future wealth and independence for today's apathy.
Section 4. The 30-day wealth audit. We aren't going to let that happen anymore. Let's fix this right now with a definitive, highly actionable plan derived straight from our sources. It's time to plug these leaks permanently and reclaim your cash flow with what we call the 30-day wealth audit. So here is exactly what you need to do today. First, list all your asset values. Get a crystal clear picture of what you actually own. Next, list your total liabilities. You need to know your exact financial baseline before you can improve it. Third, and I cannot stress this enough, this is the absolute most important step for today, hunt down every single recurring charge on your bank statements and credit cards. Do not guess. Look at the actual numbers line by line. Take your time with this. Finally, cancel unused services immediately. Execute this ruthless audit today, and then take one crucial final step. Set up a system to automatically pay yourself first. Take the money you just freed up and automate it directly into investments. Let your system do the heavy lifting so this money goes to your future instead of forgotten companies. I want to leave you with this really provocative thought from our sources. Every purchase is a trade. What future freedom did you trade for today's convenience? Remember, true wealth is built intentionally. It requires boring, daily consistency and absolute clarity on exactly where your cash is going. Don't let your money leak away on autopilot. Go pull up your statements, run your audit, and cancel those unused subscriptions right now.